Stealth Arms Part 2. This one here is my personal gun. Big shout out to Tim, the owner of Stealth Arms. This was a courtesy of him to me, so thank you very much. He allowed me to build my own gun on the website, and then when I got my invoice, it was $0. So thank you, Tim, and the team at Stealth Arms for supporting the channel and this opportunity to run this gun, because it's got some cool things on it that I was able to do the website. So further ado, let's take a look at it. All right, first off, you guys, when you get a Stealth Arms pistol, you get this cool bag. This is multicam black on the inside. The pockets are multicam black, super dope. It's a very well-built, very padded bag. Space for 5 magazines. And you've got kind of there's a pocket back here that holds my optics plate, some tools, and of course my Platypus sticker here. So definitely a very good travel case for the weapon. Ready. Let's break it down. So when I built the gun, I kind of kept it traditional, but I added 2 of the new upgrades for 2024. Before I get too far in those upgrades, let me take a break and tell you what I do here at RDR. We're a soft goods manufacturer. We specialize in plate carriers, placards, chest rigs, Safariland duty holsters. We do have Safariland duty holsters for the Stealth Arms Platypus in the 5-inch Commander model. If you have one that you're either building or you purchased, and you have questions or needs for a Safariland duty holster, email us at info@rdrholsters.com. Otherwise, you can see all the rest of our options for Safariland holster mods, holster accessories, our soft goods at rdrgear.com. So back to the Platypus. I'm gonna break this down and review kind of what I put on the gun, some of the new features that came out for 2024 that were released at SHOT Show. I'm gonna give you guys some of the features, styling, some things I deleted, some things I added, etc. And we're gonna go through the gun as such. So let's start with slide. This is a 5-inch government tactical slide. I did not do any window cuts. I did choose to have the matching front serrations, fiber optic front sight, and of course, getting this thing cut for the Acro P2. If you guys notice on the Acro how deep this cut is, the sucker sits way down in there. And one of the great things about having the Acro cut, if you look at how small and unobtrusive this rear sight is. I don't know if I can get this to you guys in the camera or not, but this thing is super, super tiny. It doesn't block any of the window. It's very, very well done, and it gives you a perfect co-witness to not have to have a big, wide rear sight. As I mentioned earlier, standard height fiber optic front sight, concentrations, no window cuts anywhere. Just, they've never been my thing. So this is one of the new features 2024. This is the 9mm bull barrel that was released at SHOT Show. The gun shoots super tight. If you follow me on Instagram, this morning I zeroed a 10-round group, and it's probably about the size, maybe a nickel. Right, and 1 flyer out of that group, and that was bag supported just to get the red dot zeroed. But the rest of the day, gun shot awesome, 0 malfunctions, really, really well done on that aspect. The one thing I did not do, I kind of messed up on the website. I blacked out every other feature on this pistol other than the barrel. I forgot to check with a black nitride box, but doesn't matter, it gives a little cool accent on there. And again, very well done on the slide and slide frame to fit. So let's move on to the frame. So when you guys go to the website, every detail on this pistol you're gonna pick. You'll pick all the stuff on the slide, color, you can split the 2-tone, half black, half gray, whatever you wanna do. And if you guys have not seen my first Stealth Arms video, I'll put the link on the show notes here, because that's when we had like a dozen pistols from Tim. We went through a bunch of them for holster fitment, and we shot a bunch. And the sample selection that he sent for us to take a look at, it really showed the creativity and the customization of every pistol. There's really not much you can't do to these things to make it yours. So again, look at their website, look at their social media. There's some pretty wild build out there, especially with the color combinations. It's definitely, no one will have one like yours. That is guaranteed. Frame module. And I say module, I shouldn't say module. Because the one thing that's different about this pistol, even though it is very much, it looks like a double stack 1911, or excuse me, double stack 2011, it is not. It is a one-piece frame. And that's where we get to the Glock mags we'll talk about in a minute. So traditionally on a 2011 pistol, you will have a slide, you will have a frame, and you will have a grip module. And the grip module will mount to the frame, and that's how you get to 3-piece on a 2011 and a 2-piece on a 1911, kind of like a KFC order. But so when you look at that, this is where you can kind of customize on the Stealth Arms pistol. So this is the grip size small. When I played with a bunch of them at SHOT Show and the sample ones we had here, I noticed that this one here, we had a sample of. It was a prototype grip texture that wasn't out yet. And the frame just, even Christian shot it, and we both felt that it just had a much better grip in the hand than the finger groove grips were felt a little wider. So this is the new prickle texture on the frame module, and this is the size small. So this prickle was of the pistol I shot prior, this was the best feature, and Tim had launched it at SHOT Show, and I knew I had to have it on my build. So as I mentioned, this is just enough to where you can hang on to this gun and you don't feel that it's giving you any kind of, if I squeeze this thing for a few seconds, you don't have any crazy marks on the hand. It's just a very well done texture, and your support hand has a good texture as well. So again, and it looks super clean. I don't think there's any other grip texture they have that looks as clean as this. And again, no finger grooves. Finger grooves I did not do because I already feel with the Magwell, and I knew this because I had played with a few of them, is that when I grip this pistol, I don't have a very wide palm this way, but when I grip this gun with the Magwell on there, you'll see the 3 fingers are pretty snug in there. If I had the finger grooves and they were off in any way up or down, I might have trouble with the grip. So having that slick front with the Magwell, that just fits perfectly with my hands. So you guys out there, if you have a larger hand, Magwell may be something, you know, that you run with or run without. So Magwell, right? When I got the Magwell on the pistol, I knew I wanted one, and then factory magazines were sitting too deep in there. So I knew I was gonna have to put some kind of mag extension. I've been a supporter of Shield Arms products since they first came out. I know Brandon over there and the guys at Shield Arms, I met them years ago at SHOT Show, but they make a very, very good product. The reason I like their base plates is that if you unscrew this little screw here, the plate comes off, service the magazine without having the actual housing of the base plate coming off the magazine. The one downside to that is when you screw that first pin in, they come out of the top of the magazine pretty far. And what that did was it hit inside the bottom of the Magwell. That little silver mark is, there's no recess there. If there was a scoop or something, and I don't know if that's something I'm gonna send to Tim at Stealth Arms, if that Magwell had a recess there, then that might fit majority of the pin style base pads, but I don't use a lot of Glock base pads, so I'm not very versed on all the different design styles out there. There may be ones without them, but again, it was nothing hard to fix. I just took the base plate that was on here, put it back on the gun, and then I trimmed down the pin that was protruding far enough to where when I put the magazine back in the gun with the base plate on it, it cleared the Magwell. So now you have no issue with lockup. The base plate fits on the magazine, fits within the Magwell, has their drop free, no problem whatsoever. So again, the Shield Arms base pads right here are a great option to have. It's a +5, so 17 to 21, or 22, my math sucks. But yeah, that's an option for you guys there. And again, I found some information on some other base plates doing a Reddit search for the Platypus 1911. So again, you guys can do the research on what brand you might want to run. Triggers. So there are 4 trigger options you can choose from, 3 trigger weights. When I was at SHOT Show, I put a few of the different triggers because they had them there, of course. But what I landed on was a short curve. And of the 4 trigger styles you can get, which means the shoe of the trigger or the trigger bar, you have a skeleton, what is it? Oh, 3-hole, skeleton, a straight, a short straight, and a short curved. When I had played a few of them at the show, I just liked, number 1, I liked how the short curve looked in there. Number 2, with the small grip module and trigger placement, it was a good fit for me to get kind of that harder, heavier part of the middle of the index finger on that trigger. And I just felt that break was super clean. And I felt the reset was easy to get to for me as well to break the second shot. So when I played with it more and more, it just was a trigger that I felt would be a good fit for this pistol. And that's why I went to short curved. The weight you can go is at 3.5? Yeah, so you got a 4-pound, 3.5, and a 2.5. 2.5 is too light for me, I think, on any 2011 pistol. I do want some resistance simply just because that 2.5-pound trigger in a gun you might be carrying or training with at the range outside of a match, that's a pretty dang light trigger. So pick your poison on that aspect of it. This is a 3.5-pound trigger, and you can see super clean break, very easy reset, and the reset's nothing. It's butter. So again, pick your poison on the trigger weight. Price point for this gun, how it's built minus acro, of course, was $1,800. Adding the X300 and the acro, do the math, right? A lot of you guys, to save your time, you're gonna jump in the website, jump in the comments. Oh, I just buy a staccato, blah 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 blah. Fine, you buy a staccato, but what you're gonna do is, so for every 1 staccato mag, you're gonna get 2 of these, and those staccato mags are 17 rounds. Then you're gonna have to buy base plates. You're gonna be $100, close to $100 per magazine. I'm not saying these guns are true 2011 pistols, but the way this gun shot today, I'll put this gun up against any staccato P out there any day of the week. You know, you're still gonna be into this gun 18, let's say 22, 27. You're gonna be into this gun the same price point of, let's say 28 is the base pads, right? And you get 3 of them. You'll be into this gun the same price as a stock P before you do anything to it or you add anything to it. And you're gonna get the same gun that everybody else has. You're not gonna have anything different on your pistol until you put another $2,000 into it to make it cool and Gucci, and you're gonna drill a bunch of holes in it because you think that's cool and you need help with the recoil of 9mm. I'm not bullshitting, right? That's pretty much what's gonna happen. So at the end of the day, this is something that comes from a small business, family owned. Tim and his wife and his daughter all work at this business. They have great customer service, and the fact that you can build pretty much anything you want. When I was at SHOT Show, Tim's daughter had these badass different layouts for floral. So ladies, if you want to do something cool, reach out to Stealth Arms, ask them, hey, can I do this, right? And the other cool, very unique personal thing to me on this pistol, while I'll never get rid of it, and I don't know if Christian will be able to zoom in on this, but I don't care if you guys see it because it's the serial number. It's RDR year 2024. That is something unique to me because Tim and I met over a phone call. He was having a hard time getting some answers on Safariland holsters. And one day I get an email from this guy, hey, I'm Tim, I own Stealth Arms, Platypus. I had heard of Platypus. I'm like, oh, it's the 1911 takes Glock magazines. I wasn't all that. You know, it's been tried before. But talking to him, another small business owner, you know, family ran. When I saw him at SHOT Show, it was a good experience. So I'm proud to own a Stealth Arms Platypus. And I think if you are looking for something, because I've got about close to a dozen Glock pistols. And I probably have close to 50 of these magazines. So for that aspect alone, it makes it worth it, at least to look at it. Build your pistol. It's a 3D cool website. It'll show you everything you want. It'll give you a rendering of your gun. Take a look at it, try it out. Don't knock it before you try it. Guys, that's all I got for you today on the Stealth Arms Platypus 1911 double stack. You'll see more of this gun, so because we're gonna run this thing against some other 2011s, probably the Beater Staccato XC. Till next time, be well, take care.